In this video, I will show you how to create a form using PHP and how to enter data into this form so that it can be moved to the database. Now, this is a 3-4 step process that you will follow. This is the form that you see here. When I click submit, the data should be transferred to my table here in my phpMyAdmin SQL database. Here is the table as cars. So let us see how this will go. Now remember one thing. First we need to create the table. The first step should be that you should have a table in your database and you know about the fields of that table, all of them. The second step should be here is creating the form. That is this form that we have here. We need to create this form using PHP. Now this is actually HTML form, not a PHP, but one small detail that we need to put here is name of that PHP file that is going to be used to insert the data, like this one. This is the one that I'm going to use to insert data into the table. Now I'll give you the detail of this also, but here I have the form. So here it says form action method is post. It means we are going to post this data, that is moving the data from this form to the table. So we need to have the correct name of the file that is going to be used for this purpose. Now this is a syntax for adding the input fields or input text box. You can see here it says label for company name. This is the text that would be displayed here and closing the tag here. Then we have the input type, which is text. It means it is a text field. We can have some other here also, like the text area or checkbox, radio button type of things can also come here. Then we have the name and we have the ID. Now these are 2-3 things here. Here we have the for attribute, which actually specifies to which element this label is bound to. So it means this one and the ID, both of them should be same. You can see here it says car name, here it is also car name. So this all should be same. Okay, the next one, this is also important, the name here. This part is also important. So we need to keep note of this, the name attribute of the input tag. You can see for all of them we have this. So we have 4 fields here in this table, in this PHP page. That's it. Then we have the where we are going to move the data. So the first thing, we need to create a connection to the database. For that we need the server name, username, password and the database name. These 4 things are required here. This is just a variable. You can name it whatever you want to name this. Now here we are going to give the detail of all this. So here we have the server name, username, password and DB name, which should be all these 4 that you have here. Okay, here we are going just checking that if the connection is successful or not. So we can forget about this one for now. This is the important part. Now these values, like here it says taking all 4 values from the form, data input form, that is this one. From here, once we click the submit button, it's going to post this data on through the PHP page to the server. So there we have some global variables that are going to access all these values. So you can see here, this one says company name. This is the exact thing that we have put under the name. So this should be the same thing. Then we have car name, color name and model year. So we can see we have used all these here, right? This has to be exactly the same. Now here, this is our variable for this PHP page, which we are going to use it here. So this part, from up to this part, we have all our values into these variables. All the 4 values are here. Now we are going to insert these ones. So again, we create a variable SQL. Here we say insert into cars value. So this is the second part of your insert statement. We are not giving the name of the field. We are just giving directly the values here. So the values are, we have the company name, car name, color name and model year. Here I have this as null, the first field. Now why this is null? You can see here the first field that we have here is the primary key, which is auto increment first thing. So it means we don't need to enter this value. There is no need for us to type this value. It's an auto increment. So the moment we add a record, this will be generated automatically and added here. So to do this, we need to add here as null, right? So we are not moving any value from here. That will be generated on the table side. Once this is done, now here you can see that you need to remember the syntax. Do not make a mistake while putting this syntax. We have single quote, then the variable name, and then single quote close, then comma, and the next field, the next variable for the field. And now here is the one that is going to run this query, or execute this query. In fact, the connection that we made here, this one, on this connection, this query will be executed. If there is an error, it's going to display what happened. So this part is creating the connection and moving the data into the table, right? So this thing should work in two different files. So we will see it now how this works. Here we have 4 rows here, or 4 records. So I am going to run this one. We have our 4 values here, and I'm going to click submit. Now you can see data is stored in database successfully, right? Now we will come to our table to see if that data is there or not. You can see we have our 5th record here, and this field is generated automatically. Now it is 13. You must know that number 11 has been deleted from here, so that's why it's the next value. So this is how you can create the PHP file so that you can move data from the